Hallo und herzlich willkommen. Welcome to the Pirates Cove. It's Monday night and we're gonna talk English tonight because we have an English speaking guest. And there's already the first sub coming in. Thank you very much, Helena, for your sub in the 25th month in a row. Awesome. Thank you for the support. Yes, we talk English tonight because we have an English speaking guest. And before we talk about him and with him, we're gonna wait till Ricardo is back from down under the table so he can switch the camera angle, which happens now. Welcome to our guest, Zach Tallent. Hi, Zach.
How's it going? Very excited.
Awesome. We are a little bit late today because we had to do some technical stuff as always, but now we are live. And always to my far left side, it's Max tonight. Welcome, Max, to the show.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me. Thanks for taking last week off. There was really nothing to talk about, but there's even more to talk about this week since we got an awesome guest here.
There's always stuff we can talk about. It's not that there's no stuff we can talk about. First question of the night, Zach. How was your day? How are you doing? How is your mood? How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. It's been good to be in Innsbruck, starting to figure everything out and which bus to hop on and stuff like that. I have my daily commute pretty much figured out now. So it's been good. Happy to be in the office and, just get to be here in the middle of the mountains has been awesome.
Great. Max, how are you doing?
Doing fine. Had a nice weekend. Weather was awesome. So, there's nothing to complain about. How about you?
I'm great, and I didn't saw you yesterday at the Raiders 3 game, which was
wasn't in town.
It wasn't in town. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm always fine. I'm always good. I'm happy that we are back after a 1 week break. And tonight we're gonna talk a lot about the ELF. We're gonna talk about and with you, Zach, about the upcoming season and about everything around and with the Raiders. Yeah, before we go into the interview with you, let's talk about the news around the club. What happened with the Raiders the last weekend? We had 2 games with our football team. One you saw also yesterday, right? The Division 3.
Yeah.
They won against the Predators from Steyr. How you say it in English?
Steyr.
In German it's Steyr. From Steyr. And they won it. It was a close game till the fourth quarter, and at the end it was pretty clear. 27-6, I think. How was it for you to watch some lower league football in front of so many people?
It was awesome. It was good to see that there was still a big crowd at that game, and football's football. So that's kind of what I told Christian. I was like, look, there's football. I'm going to be there, and I want to watch it. So it was good to see. I mean, inside zone is still inside zone, so got to watch it, and our defense played really good. The only touchdown was on the Predators' first play of the second half, and I just think the corner fell asleep because they hadn't thrown it at him at all. But other than that, our defense was lights out, and like you said, in the fourth quarter, the offense woke up a little bit. So it was awesome to see. You might don't know it, but it's a really cool team. Actually, there are old guys who played with Max and myself. Then there are some old guys who never played football before and just decided with 40 they want to play football, and there are some young kids who started playing football. So it's a perfect mixture of different football levels.
Yeah, if we keep saying that the Raiders are family, there's no other team you can see that more as in the division team.
Yeah.
Because you basically got 3 different generations of people. That could be like really a family, like a real gathering.
Yes, I noticed that yesterday, but even the older guys, they were playing well, and on the offensive line is where I think I saw the most of them. But hey, the quarterback had time back there yesterday, so they did their job. Absolutely.
No, it was cool, and it was a nice game day. Perfect weather. A lot of people were there, and it was really like a Raiders family event. And congratulations again to our Raider 3 team. They are now 2-0, and we already have a message in the chat probably from somebody who knows you back from the States. Coach Tallent, future Hall of Fame coach. That's my goal. Hello to everybody. Hello to everybody who's tuning in from America because of our guest. Great to have you here. And if you have questions or comments, just write them into the chat. And somebody's also saying Paul is the future Raider 3 center, and no, I already told everybody.
Aren't you pretty close to like age-wise to a midlife crisis? So
I am in the middle of my midlife crisis
okay,
already.
so we're gonna
but
rule
I
that
will
out.
Not, no, I've become a downhill star now. I'm
I've
in
seen the
biking
video
now.
actually.
Yeah. So I will not. I will compensate my, how you say, midlife crisis problems with biking and not with playing.
And I learned up the mountain a little bit more farther than where I live. A lot of people take the bus up there with their bikes to go biking. So you're in a good spot.
Absolutely. And it's illegal to bike there, but everybody's doing it. So.
Well, there you go.
Yes. So this game happened yesterday, and it was really great to watch, and perfect game day for the Raiders. On Saturday, our AFL team played. I don't know if you watched that game or if you followed it a little bit.
I watched the first half. It was
the first half was tough to watch.
Yeah.
We played against the Graz Giants with our AFL team and lost 40-something to 21. Especially first half was a couple individual mistakes, some mental mistakes, which were then going into scores for the opponent. Max, did you watch it?
No, unfortunately not. Or maybe fortunately, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on it. I just hope that everyone made it out intact, no injuries. So
yeah, it was a 42-21 at the end, and it was an important game to stay close to the playoff, or how you say, to the playoff spots. Mm-hmm. And we lost it, and now the team has to, I think, re-find himself a little bit. They are 1-3 now, and they'll still have a lot of games. Playoffs are still possible. So yeah, but heads up, guys, it's not the end of the world. Keep working, keep grinding, and good things will happen. Then we also had some flag football games this weekend. A lot of our youth teams played, and sorry that I don't know every result, but if you want to know them, go to our new Instagram channel of our flag football team. They have a new channel since last week, and all results, pictures, and game day stories are on there. And Ricardo will post the link into the chat, and then you guys can follow our flag football teams. And if you want to see the tables and the standings and everything, go to gameday.football.at, and there are all the scores and everything about all the leagues in Austria. Did you ever play flag football?
When I was 4 years old, I played flag football, but tackle football since 5. So, that's just kind of how they introduce you to the game, and which is exactly probably what these guys are doing here. And once you learn if you love it is when you put the pads on, because if you don't love football and then you get tackled for the first time, you probably say that you don't love football. So
absolutely. And then and some maybe stay in flag football forever.
Yeah.
You know that flag football is Olympic now?
I did see that. Yeah. I'm curious to see how
Team USA going to look like.
Are they going to let the NFL guys play? I know it's a totally different game, but
Oh, they do?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they'll let them or not, but I know that there was like a Flag Worlds that I watched on YouTube before, and the USA team was pretty good. So do those guys, the Olympic team, curious to see how that will go.
Maybe some former NFL players or big college names are going into the team. I mean, but you're right. It's a completely different. Some people even say it's a completely different sport.
Yeah.
It's catching, it's throwing, but the concept, you can't take a tackle passing concept and put it on a flag game.
Exactly. The field's a lot smaller and everything. And my buddy's getting mad at me about my haircut or telling me to find a barber, but I'm working on it right now.
We actually got some good ones.
Max is in the barber game. I'm out, obviously. But
it's never too late, Paul.
Have to. Yeah, we have to collect money so I can fly to Turkey to get my hair transplantation. It's pretty common to fly to Turkey.
Are you gonna fix the teeth as well, like the whole package?
My teeth are all right.
Yeah, and what about like eye lasers? Lasering that.
What's about facelifting, Max?
No, I'm just saying, like, you could get a pretty good deal if I take
the whole package. Yeah. Okay. We will see if we get enough money. By the way, money. If you still have Amazon Prime, subscription free. Just spend it to us because we are looking to get more money to get my hairs and my face and my nose and whatever make in Turkey. Thank you. Back to... Is the stream working? It looks like we are not sync. Just give us a thumbs up if the stream is all right for you guys. So a lot of football happened last weekend, a lot of wins, couple losses for our flag football teams, and now we moving on into a bye week for our AFL team. They have a bye week, and our Division 3 team, I don't know, Ricardo, maybe you can help me with that.
They're going to play at the 28th.
They also have a bye week, right? So there is no game this weekend, but there is I getting the schedule. It's awesome. So the next game for our AFL team will be the Tyrolean Derby in 2 weeks against the Telfs Patriots in Telfs, which is going to be huge. Great game. And for our Division 3 team, the next game is on the 28th away against the Bastards, which is still the best name
for any team.
For any team in the world. Just call yourself the Bastards. So next weekend, there's a huge thing because first camp is going to happen for our ELF team, right?
Yes, very excited. We've been getting all of our practice schedules and everything prepared for it. So just excited to get the whole, the team here and get everybody out on the field and, get to play some football. So
before we talk about the camp and the future and the ELF, let's talk a little bit about you, Zach. Like, if I'm allowed to, how old are you? Am I allowed to ask?
Yes, you can ask. I'm 24, turned 24 February 2nd. So Groundhog's Day in America. What
is Groundhog's Day?
That is it's a holiday where in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, they bring out Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog. And this is bad because it's my birthday, but I don't remember if he sees his shadow or if he doesn't see a shadow. Basically tells you if they're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or if they're going to have an early spring.
There's this movie about, right?
Exactly, yes, Groundhog's Day. Yeah, so that's my birthday right there.
Perfect. You are still so young. Why are you not playing football anymore?
I got to play all 4 years of college. I was fortunate to go to a school where I could start as a freshman, and so when my 4 years were up, I felt like I had accomplished what I wanted to do, and I knew that I wanted to get into coaching, and sometimes it's best to just get right into it. So with COVID, I technically had a COVID year that I could have played, but I was done with school. I had graduated. I was like, I don't necessarily want to take more classes and stuff like that, so get right into coaching.
Great. With 24, Max and myself, we were still playing, right? Or we were still young.
Yeah, no.
For playing football.
Not really, because back in the day, I think when the first team was still playing in the AFL, I think that average age was lower than it is right now. So if it was a men's league, it was I think we were younger. Age. Yeah, I think we were younger, and now in the ELF we still got people continuing their careers for 2 or 3 more years. So
true. So maybe I was the only one who was old because I retired with 31.
Yeah.
So before you started playing college, let's start with the early ages. You said with 4 you started playing flag football, and then when did tackle started?
So tackle every fall from 5 till I got to high school. When I was 9, I changed teams, and that was probably one of the best decisions we made. As a family, it was actually closer to my house, but in the city over. But it's like I said, honestly, 10 minutes closer than the other teams. So went to play for the Plant City Dolphins, which is basically how the Raiders have their 9U and 10U and all that. Same deal. It's just
it's not attached to a school. It's more like a club, right?
Yes, yeah. Yes. So got to do that. And when I went there, the first day of practice, I had played quarterback for my last team, and they were throwing me the ball, and I remember catching it, and I was like, maybe I'm going to be a quarterback again. And then when we lined up, they were like, you're going to go play receiver. So that was great, but that was the best thing that coach could ever done for me, because then it led to me continued to play in receiver in little league and stuff, and got to high school and college. And
so you only played receiver?
Yep. Didn't even play defense. So
wow.
Yeah, which is very rare at a young age.
Exactly, because everybody who we talk here or we have as a guest or even played O-line or something and then became a DB at the end.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wasn't that good at tackling, I guess. So they were just like, you just keep catching the ball and, hopefully try to score a couple touchdowns and we'll be good there. So that was kind of it. And then as I got to high school, same deal, just played receiver all 4 years there. So my high school, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but my high school team, we were, my first 3 years, we were struggling a little bit. And then my senior year, my core group of seniors kind of, we were like, hey, we're sticking it out together. We're going to try to turn this around. And we ended up going 6-4 my senior year. So,
which was a big thing then for your school, who was not that good before.
Yes. Yeah. We started 3-0, and that was the first time we had started 3-0 in a real long time. So that felt good. And we had the school and the students were backing us up and they were excited for us. So that was a lot of fun. I remember being a part of that our senior year. All the pep rallies were exciting and stuff like that.
Great. So at high school, you only played receiver, and then for you already knew, okay, football is your thing. Did you also
were you a multi-sport athlete?
That was my question.
I wasn't because my second sport growing up was baseball. So I did play a little bit of baseball, but when I got to high school, it was, time to make a decision on, am I going to play one? I got to basically choose one. And my baseball team at our high school was very good. So, I love football more, and I kind of realized you may make the team, but I don't know how much you're going to play at baseball. So just kind of focus all on football. And, that's what I did. And it was a great decision for me.
Hey you. Yes, exactly you. Did you already subscribe to our YouTube channel? If not, do it now, down there, and activate the bell so you will never miss Raiders content again. Thank you for your support. And now you can continue watching.
Because then I got to go watch all the baseball games, got to go watch basketball, stuff like that. So
you enjoyed watching the games and playing football?
Yes.
To the chat, if you have questions or comments, and questions especially for Zach, please write them in the chat. Feel free. There are no stupid questions. Max, do you have a question? If not, I continue.
Yeah. So after high school, obviously college. And you already talked about your college time a little bit, but how came the transition to coaching from playing? Like, what was the first team you coached?
So I went to Anderson University for college. Whenever I graduated, May 7th, I had already kind of been talking and trying to get interviews because I knew that I wanted to get coaching. So my first coaching job was at Iowa Wesleyan University in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. The middle of nowhere, really. It's a very small town, but a school with a lot of history. Actually, the birthplace of the air raid offense. So if you know about the air raid offense, that's what they say there. Coach Hal Mummy and Coach Mike Leach, they had met previously and stuff like that. If you read Coach Leach's book, he talks about talking with Coach Mummy a couple times, but they coached together at Iowa Wesleyan. So also Dana Holgerson, if you know that name, he was there with them as a student assistant. I think he might even be a Mount Pleasant native. I can't confirm that, but a lot of big name air raid guys are from there. So for me, who got to play in the air raid in college, to then go there as my first coaching job was really awesome. And I was the tight ends coach there. So that was the real transition, was learning about the box and stuff like that. It wasn't until the spring that year that I switched to receivers because we were able to get another coach. And so we did some moving around and stuff. But actually, funny enough about Iowa Wesleyan, in the middle of spring ball, they announced that the school was going to close down at the end of the school year. So, so we stopped all football stuff. And
from one day to another.
Literally in the office at 1:30, 2 in the morning, doing our job, nothing out of the ordinary. We go into the office. The next day, we're supposed to have a meeting at 9 o'clock. And I remember 8:30, I'm going to get my breakfast and a coffee. And coach says, staff meeting now. And that's when he told us. So very unfortunate. We were returning a lot of guys. We were expecting to be really good that next fall. But, all of our guys were able to find a spot to go play at, and all of our coaches were able to find another spot to go coach at as well.
Did they just close the football operation or like the whole school?
The entire school. So
The
Crazy.
entire school.
yes. So right now
Why?
there's no Iowa Wesleyan. It was, in a long story short, I think they were waiting on a grant, from the state, and
So money was the reason.
yeah, they didn't get it, and so the board had voted to close it down. So it was definitely a weird day in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. That's for sure.
What? Well, NCAA Division 2?
It was NAIA.
NAIA,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's a little different the way the scholarships work,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
Division
Is that
2.
where Joe last year was also coming
So
from?
Dolenchek played
Yeah?
there. Sean Shelton played NIA.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Who else played NIA? A couple guys we had in the past played NIA. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's just a different league system, right? Just a different federation.
Exactly. Just not NCAA,
Yeah.
but it's still
Yeah.
football, and
Exactly.
they do
Yeah.
all the other sports.
Yeah. Okay, but then school got closed, and then
And then I was looking around, I was a graduate assistant there. So I was kind of looking to either I needed to, because I was a graduate assistant, I wasn't getting paid, so I was like, I need to find another graduate assistant where they'll pay for my housing or stuff like that, or restricted earnings. And funny enough, one of these, coaches are calling my head coach because all of our players are now able to be recruited. So a coach from my home county was talking to my head coach in Iowa, and back and forth, he had said that they had a receiver job open up, and just out of nowhere, my coach just recommended me. Then I got a phone call. They had just got a new office coordinator. So Weber International University is where I just came from. They're in Lake Wales, Florida, Babson Park, Florida. And it worked out because, like I said, I had no money, but it was a full-time position. So I was able to get paid, get benefits and stuff like that. But also while I got settled, Weber is on a lake. So there's a private beach, beautiful lake. Yes. Spring-fed sand bottom lake. That's what we tell all the recruits. Well, fortunate for me, my mom lives on that lake as well. So I moved in with her for a little bit, could take the jet ski to work.
Really?
Yes, and I did. If I knew that we had a big-time recruit coming, I would bring the jet ski to work, and we would take him out to the lake, and we'd say, they'd go, whose jet ski is that? And I would say, that's how I got to work today. So
That's
yeah.
that's cool, actually.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
So with the private beach, you could really like in swimming shorts or what?
Yeah, I would bring
coaches coming.
I would bring my backpack, basically ride there in shorts and a t-shirt, and then when I got there, change into my work clothes. But that was a great opportunity for me to, just continue coaching, because when that happens, it was at a weird time where a lot of people have already hired their coaches for the spring and stuff like that. So I was nervous.
In May?
It was actually, they announced it in middle of March.
Oh.
So it was definitely an awkward time. And then I left April 10th and started at Weber April 20th. So that was my first day. But an opportunity I went to school in Indiana. So I moved away from home for 4 years, went home in the summers and stuff. Then I went to Iowa, so farther away from home for a year. The opportunity to come back home and still work my job that I want, and it was awesome. Be able to see my families on the weekends, go have steak and stuff at my dad's house, all that.
Great.
So it worked out for me.
And then you coached one season there.
One season there this past fall. Didn't go kind of how we wanted it to, a couple transition things, but I still talk to those guys all the time. Actually, the receiver coach that's there now that basically took my job, him and I were together at Iowa Wesleyan. So we're really good friends, and I called him and actually last week and was just like, tell me how spring ball's going. You know what I mean? And
because you still know the guys, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's able to rattle off all the guys that are there, and so-and-so's having a good week, a good camp and stuff like that. So it's been really cool.
Great. Somebody sent it a heart. I hope it was for you. Maybe it's somebody.
That may be my mom. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I call it right there. So
now you can say some words to your mom.
Mom, how's it going? I'll call you a couple times this week. Her birthday's on Sunday, so yes, we got something working for you over there. That's all I'll tell you, Mom.
Great. Yeah, and then somebody called you, right?
Yeah. Then we were in the middle of our recruiting. The season's over, and I get a call from Coach Herman, and he tells me, about the opportunity, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Let me think about it, coach. And he's like, of course. You know, he didn't offer me the job right away, you know, just wanted to talk and see if I was interested in it. Fortunately for me, I had gotten my passport just randomly because my girlfriend likes to travel and stuff like that. So I was like, let me just have it. I had time during our bye week. So he was like, do you have your passport? And I told him I did. And, you know, we just got to talking, and, you know, I talked to a couple of my mentors and stuff like that. And everybody was like, dude, you got to go. And basically the realization was, if I didn't go now, when would I get this opportunity again? You know, I have no kids, you know, my bills are very low back home right now, just paying for my car really and my phone. So, let's go. You know what I mean? It was, if I don't go now, will I ever get to live in this beautiful city? You know, so right now, almost 2 weeks in, very, very happy with my decision.
Great. Sounds good. But I ask myself, how did Coach Herman and you, I mean, how did he recognize you? Yeah.
Was there any prior connection?
So Coach Herman, he coached with the offensive line coach who was at Weber, Coach Dan Pippin. Coach Pippin is actually now a Italian League Division II head coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm going to butcher this, but Aquila Ferrara.
Yeah, I think that's quite right.
Yeah, so I've been practicing. I got Christian helping me.
Yeah, you have an Italian roommate.
Yes. So, but he's the head coach there. So they had coached together, and Coach Pippin had already left Weber, and him and I still spoke, and he just said, you're going to get a call. That was it. And so I answered, you know, random phone calls, which you got to do anyway in recruiting. But when I answered it, Coach Herman said, hey, Zach, it's Coach Herman. I kind of stood up and walked outside. I was like, let me take this. And but it was, just a crazy phone call. So then we spoke a couple times, and I was like, look, Coach, like, you know, I don't want to commit to anything right now. The coaches convention is a big thing in America that all the coaches go to. Yeah, AFCA. So able to go there and network. And I told him, and he was like, go. You know, I want you to go to that too. But he was like, you know, if nothing pops up while you're there, you know, I want you here. So but he's been great. He, you know, like, I'm the young guy on staff, but he doesn't care. He told me in our first staff meeting, he's like, look, Zach, you're the wide receiver coach. And so that's how you're going to do it. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how long you've been doing it. If I wouldn't be here if he didn't trust that I could do it. Yeah. So, and the fact that, you know, an ex-NFL guy talks about me like that is a big for my confidence going into meetings and stuff and going into camp.
Of course. I mean, Max, imagine an ex-NFL and Michigan State coach calls you.
I would probably think it's a scam.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Nah, just kidding.
No, but really?
Yeah.
I mean, but in the States, probably at that time where you recruit, a lot of numbers calls you, right?
Yeah, so
it was,
I didn't know who
you answer every call in that time.
Exactly.
As a coach. And Coach Christian has given you a compliment about your Italian.
Hey.
You know, after the season that you're going to talk German and Italian.
Yeah, I'm going to be fluent in both of them. That's
both of them.
Compared to everybody in the States, at least. So I'll be able to go home and, you know, I may drop a chow on everybody whenever I'm leaving.
Mr.
And stuff
Worldwide.
Like that. Yes, exactly. Mr. Worldwide. That'll be me at the end of this. So.
And you can order then pizza in Italian.
Yes.
In Florida. There's an Italian community. So
yeah, I'll go find it, talk with them, and it'll be good.
Sounds great. Okay, you're here since 2 weeks, 10 days, something like that?
Yeah, April 5th. I landed in Munich and, you know, hopped on the shuttle and got dropped off right off at the front.
It was perfect. Yeah, when you arrived, it was funny I can tell that. I just walked our hallway and Zach was standing there and said, hey, hi Zach. Hey, Paul. I just got dropped off by the shuttle driver. And normally he was supposed to drop him off at the front and somebody of us should pick you up, but you were just standing in the office. Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, they dropped me off. The door opened because it's the automatic Electric, door. Yeah. So I was like, well, I guess I'm here. And I went in the elevator, first floor. I was like, nope. Second floor, there it is. So I was like, all right.
Hey, that's also a cool story. Yeah, the last days you had the chance to meet a couple of our local players. And you saw a lot of film from last season and all of them. What are your first impressions about them, about the Raiders?
Well, I'll speak for the receivers that I've met. You know, they love football, right? You know, in the States, you have guys that are good at football, but do they love football? And when you coach guys that love football, they want to get coached. every little detail that I talk about, they're going to put to use or put to work. So those guys, they always want to know more. And, I know that those guys are ready to get going for camp. Just because, hey, that's about as much football as you can get in a day whenever it comes to camp with practice and meetings and all that. So, but great dudes. Anytime I have a question, they'll say, hey, here's what, the answer. They'll help me get around and stuff like that. So, they've been great. And then the Raiders, I think when I talk with everybody else or whenever I see people around, it's the same deal. Like those guys are excited for the coaching staff that Coach Herman's brought together and brought here. And, they want to win football games, right? They want to make the playoffs. They want to win the whole deal, right? So that's the expectation. And when the expectation is set like that, not from just the, organization of the coaches, but the players as well, it hopefully will show at practice with our efforts and stuff like that.
Next, you jump in. It's already that.
All right, nah, I'm just listening. I'm
I don't
excited
want
as
to
well.
cut you out. Great. Our receivers, especially our receivers, were already in the past a very dedicated and a core veteran group of our team. So you have a great guy with Adrian Blatzkummer, who's been the team captain, who probably becomes a team captain again. What do you think about the level of football, what you saw of these guys and of the ELF and of Europe?
I've been telling people this back home. I don't want to say pleasantly surprised because that makes it sound like my expectations were low, because I was able to go in and watch the games from last year and stuff. But the football here is good. It's really good. It's not, we're not lining up weird and funky in our receiver stance.
No, they know what they do.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. We know how to catch the ball. So it's. I don't want to say pleasantly surprised, but I was, excited. I was like, let's get it. You know what I mean? These guys know what we're doing. We're not going to have to, start from ground zero, at least with the receiver room, because I've seen them play on, on the old film and stuff. And it'll be, I think that once we get going, it'll just get more and more and more.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be exciting. And I'm looking extremely forward to when everything starts, because, last year, bitter taste in our mouths still. But I think everyone's excited, ready to go, and ready to give it all. So,
absolutely. Especially your position group got also an update last week, right? With another receiver.
Yes, big time.
Big time. Darian. I hope I don't say his last name wrong. Is it Sheffin?
I believe Darian Shafin.
Shafin,
yeah,
okay.
So.
He will be a guest here probably very soon. He looks good. He looks really good. On tape, he looks really good. I think he was exactly that little puzzle what we were missing, that tall outside receiver with some speed.
Exactly. Whenever you watch his tape from college, he runs past dudes, right? And something that I was taught in college is T3O, take the top off. And so we're going to take the top off of defenses with him, hopefully. And, those other guys, they look, we can all run, but when he's big and tall and his strides are real big. So excited to get him out there whenever camp starts and, get him going up for a couple jump balls and stuff like that. And who knows, but very excited to get him going and, big time, a pickup for us for sure.
Great. Yeah, I think so too. And, like Max said, I think we are all excited and we are all looking forward to camp in the season, because it's a new team, it's a new staff, it's a new situation for the Raiders, and just positive, excitement at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's talk in general a little bit about the future, about the season, about the European League of Football. You followed it in the States, you saw the games from last year. How is it for somebody like you, who coming from the motherland of the sport, to see the sport is growing and to hear things like that? This already 30,000 tickets are sold. You didn't maybe heard that.
I didn't hear that. That's crazy.
They announced it 2 days ago. So how is it to see that sport's growing everywhere?
It's awesome. Football is the best sport in the world. And we can say the world now because I'm here coaching it in Innsbruck, Austria. But, being able to go out to the practice field and see how the young ages and stuff like that. And, that's the same thing that I was doing when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. But they're wearing Raiders helmets. So, but just that's awesome to see. And, hopefully those guys end up sticking with it and loving it. And then they become Raiders. You know what I mean? If they started the AFL and then can eventually work here to the ELF league. But, it's very cool to see the young ages and stuff like that. And on my Instagram, I have, I can only picture one right now, but I know that when I got announced, there was a 14U receiver that followed me for the Raiders. And I was like, that's awesome. And, so it's been great.
We got a question in German coming in about the tickets for the away sectors at our away games. Wolfi, das ist ein guter Punkt. Wir werden das alles in Erfahrung bringen und vielleicht gesammelt an euch nach außen kommunizieren, in welchem Fansektor, in welchem Stadion und so weiter, wo die Raiders-Fans sitzen werden. Das ist ein guter Punkt, nehmen wir mit auf. Just in English, Wolfi wanted to know where the Raiders fans are sitting on our away games, and I said we will make an announcement, we will get these informations and send it out to you guys on our social media platforms. The ELF starts in a couple of weeks. Camp starts this weekend. It's always one question, which sounds weird because the answer is always the same, is what are the goals for this year? I mean, winning is the goal. But maybe you can describe it or say a little bit about your personal goals as a coach, and also obviously your goals for the receivers and for the team.
Sure. I mean, like you said, win is the goal. We want to win a championship. That was something that Coach Herman talked to us about as the staff. Like, we're not here to, just be here, and we're here to win. So that's what we want to do. As a receivers, though, I want us to be the top receivers in the ELF. That should be our goal, every single year. I definitely think that we have the guys to do it. And then with Darian coming in and our quarterback coming in, D'Lo, we're going to have all the tools, right? So we just need to be able to, execute and really catch the ball. I joke, those big orange sticks on the sideline, as long as we keep those things moving, we're in good shape. So, and as an offensive coach, let's be the best scoring offense in the ELF, right? If that's our job as an offense is to score, right? So keep the punter on the sideline, and the more points, than everybody. That's what we want to do. Just keep on scoring.
Mm-hmm. Max and myself and all the fans out there don't know anything about our offensive system because the staff changed, right? I mean, football is football. The orange sticks, they have to move. But can you give a little hint how our offense is going to look like, or should we wait till week 1?
I don't want to give away too much. I'll say this much. It'll be exciting, and it will be, a lot of people will touch the ball. We'll say that. It's not going to be one or two guys carrying the load of our offense. This offense is designed to spread the ball around and to get guys in space, get our skill guys in space. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
I want to see a flea flicker once more. I haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah. I'll say this: if it comes time to trick plays, I'm not a flea flicker guy, but I learned to like the hook and ladder.
Yeah.
My offensive coordinator at Weber, he called a hook and ladder at least once a game.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
no matter how the score.
No matter how the score was, there was one time where I was like, I don't know, coach. And, but he called it anyway, and we scored on it. You know what I mean? So there's a bunch of different ways that you can run it as well. I was lucky enough to be a part of a successful hook and ladder in college. So I caught it, and I was the pitch guy. But I'm a fan of the hook and ladder.
Can you throw?
Not really. That's why I play receiver.
Do you ever you never played a trick play where you throw the ball to a quarterback, for example?
No, not me. No, I was usually the guy blocking for the guy throwing behind me.
Sounds great. Max, which offense would you like to see from us next season?
I would like to see a versatile offense. I mean, obviously also efficient. I mean, just a great offense. Yeah. I know that sounds kind of basic, but I want to see us score, and I want to see us have like drives, maybe not necessarily big play drives, but control the clock as well. And yeah. How about you, Paul?
I'm an old guy. I started playing football as a fullback, so I would love to see more I formation, 21 personnel, downhill running, and then I played offensive line, right? So But I know that time is kind of over. And we don't have probably that personnel for that. And playing fullback is also not a, how you say that, thankful job. It's like...
Yeah. Thankless job. Yeah. You do all the work so your running back can score touchdowns.
It hurts. It hurts.
Yes.
Especially when you have good and strong and big linebackers. It hurts. We had a fullback, Max can remember him, Alexander Kirchniok.
Yeah. Güneş.
He was half Turkish, so his second name was Güneş. He played fullback, and he was in that range of a helmet size, I think between M and L, and he always played with a little bit too big helmet. So his helmet always slided a little bit down, so he broke his nose almost every game because the edge of the padding, or like the helmet, the helm slided down, and then he hit it, and boom. And he was, yeah.
That sounds like a fullback.
That's a fullback thing. Hey, Güneş, if you listen to it, I hope your head is fine up there. No CTE. # no CTE. I mean, it's a thing we all have to handle maybe someday. It's not popular to talk about it, but it's existing. Okay. Yeah. Next week, the camp season starts. We are looking forward to see all you guys. And we have a question. Wolf is asking if there are more signings of homegrown players or if the roster is already full. Like I said, or we said in the past often, we have quite a big of a practice squad. We had 70 players yesterday at the sideline in the Division 3. I don't know how much talent is there for an ELF team. And we also have around 50 players in the AFL team. So there is a lot of Austrian talent still in the Raiders, and we will see if some of these guys get signed. But most of the Austrian players are signed at the moment. But there will be maybe some surprises in the next weeks till the season starts. That's what I can say.
I got a question, Paul.
Yeah.
Is the camp going to be public? Are people allowed to visit and watch it?
Camp is not public. We will have our fan day with our controlled scrimmage, with everything you guys are used to it. Fan day. We will announce it relatively soon. It's going to be in a couple of weeks on a Saturday, and with merchandise, with Birdie, with drinks and food, and with DJ and myself and maybe Max, and Ricardo and everybody, and Zach is coaching on the field. So that's going to be public then and announced to everybody, and there you can meet the players. Max, you know it, but Zach, we have this fan day, so the fans can then also, after it, can go on the field and get autographs and photos with the players.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. And exactly, that's the public thing we do. Uncle Charlie's asking if Pulse 4, which is a TV station in Austria, is showing the games this year. There are rumors that it is either Pulse 4 or even ORF or maybe some other channel in Austria. But the chances are very high that the games are going to be televised on free TV, at least in Austria. And for all the fans back home for Zach, there's the ELF Game Pass. If you want to watch the games, get the ELF Game Pass. It's very similar to the NFL Game Pass. You can watch real life, condensed, whatever version. Not that super professional as the NFL Game Pass, but already a great thing for people outside of the countries where the league is played. Yeah.
I was on there a little bit, and the production is very good. Yeah. So it won't be like some of the whenever I was playing in college. Some of the
it's not amateur streaming.
Yeah, it's very good streaming. Yeah. So
exactly. Good. That's it. It's almost 7. I'm done for today. Max, anything else?
Yeah, probably the most important thing. We haven't asked our guest which song he wants to to put on the playlist.
The song of the day, the most important thing of the show. Zach, what is your song of the day?
My song of the day is going to be, it's by Lionel Richie, All Night Long, but featuring Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
All right, so he has this album that he does with a bunch of different country artists. That's the version that I like the most. So, because we're going to score touchdowns all night long.
All night long. Great. Max?
I'm going to go with like a summer hit. Very old one. La Isla Bonita by Madonna.
Great. I don't have a song. I let the chat vote for my song of the day. So chat, the first song which gets written in the chat goes on our playlist. And if you haven't, Max, the song is already on the playlist.
Must have been me.
DJ Bobo Pray from Wolfie goes on the playlist. And if you didn't listen to our playlist yet, go to Spotify and search for Pirates Cove, or just wrote Spotify Spotify in the chat, and then you get the link to the best playlist in the world.
All right, then I have my backup. It's Go the Distance by Michael Bolton. It's the song in Hercules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Good.
Great.
That's it for today. Last words to the audience from you, Max.
Thanks for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to the ELF season, looking forward to the AFL bouncing back, and looking forward to seeing my first division game. So, keep on supporting us, and thank you.
Thanks, Max. Next time, I will let you talk a little bit more, but today
I'm fine.
I'm in the talking flow. Zach, your last words for today to the camera. There it is.
I really appreciate you guys having me. Excited to be a part of the Raider family, and let's win some football games.
That sounds great. Yeah, everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support, and thanks for watching what we are doing here. It's really great, and we appreciate that. We are looking forward to see you all in the stadium. Get your season tickets, get your single game tickets, and get some merch and present the Raiders out there. We see us at latest on the next home game at the Football Centrum or at the ELF Family Day. Have a great week. See you next week with another great guest, and stay healthy. Ciao, Kakao. Macht es gut.